Hey there again, English speakers. Welcome back for more common mistakes. And today we've got a big one, past simple and present perfect. Let's get started. So, one of the things we first need to talk about is finished versus unfinished time. What does this mean? Finished time is time that is in the past, right? Yesterday, last year. This is time that we consider to be done. However, we also have unfinished time. So today for me is unfinished, and also for me right now it's 9:30 in the morning, and this morning is unfinished for me. However, if we were to speak in the evening, this morning would be finished, right? So we need to keep this in mind when we're thinking about whether or not we're using the past simple or the present perfect. Both of them are past tenses, but the present perfect has more contact and more of a relationship with the present. So let's first look though at the past simple because I think that's easier. So the past simple is usually for a time that is finished, right? Things that happened, finished in the past. So I went to the store yesterday. And the past simple is most useful for talking about the past. And usually in context, we're going to have to use the past simple because we need some kind of event in the past to help anchor us in the past. So, most of the time, if you're talking about trips you took, things that happen, you're probably going to use the past simple. Now, if we're talking about stories and anecdotes, we also tend to use the past simple if we're talking about a story where there are no results in the present. So, for example, oh, I lost my keys last week. It was terrible. I had to call my mother, and then she didn't have them. So, it's a longer story, but the results are no longer in the present. So this could also be true with injuries or illnesses, things like that. Present perfect though is a little more complicated. So it's used to talk about past actions or events that happened in the unfinished time. So this morning I have worked out. Remember, right now it's morning time for me. So this morning I have worked out. This year, I have visited my family. But I visited my family back in March. But we still use I have visited when we're talking about this year, unfinished time. Also, we use it a lot for talking about life experiences. So, this is important when going on a date or, more importantly, for a job interview. Because when we're talking about what we've done in our lives, we tend to use the present perfect. I have managed large teams, I've gone skydiving. But if you start to give any details about that, then you need to probably use the past simple because you're talking about the time in the past, finished time that when it happened. But if I'm giving you a list of my life experiences, I can use the present perfect. And kind of similar to the thing about results in the past, we can also have stories with results in the present. Oh no, I've lost my keys. I can't find that. My roommate's not answering the phone. The results and the panic of having lost my keys is still present. And this can also be true for things like related to work. We've made a profit, right? We have made a profit because we're still feeling the effects, we're still feeling the joy, where it's relatively recent, but more likely it's that the effects of that earning the money are still in our mind present. Now, with the present perfect, we have a few adverbs that give us some information that we need to use the present perfect. And since is a big one. A lot of my students misuse since, which is taught in the top left corner. And this is the one where if you are, talking about how long that you've done something, you're giving duration. You're basically sticking a pin in the past, and then you're describing up into the present how long you've been doing something. So I've lived in Spain for 13 years, for example. Already is another one that is very useful. I've already called him, something you've done in earlier than expected. Or in negative sentences, we haven't done something yet. That one's a really useful one. And then also, I've just done something, when you want to highlight the recency of something as well. Well, I hope that helps. Obviously, we could go into much more detail. Feel free to leave any comments below. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.